They are hooking you up with another amateur MMA bout scheduled for three 3-minute rounds. Coming out first, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds with a current SteelFist amateur record of 1-1. Doing it for Rise Boxing. Let's hear it for Luke Sanders.
Coming out to the cage right now, we have Luke Sanders. This young man is 31 years old, standing 6 foot 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds on the dot. He has a record of 1-1-0. Darian, what do we know about this guy? Where's he training? What's his background?
All right, so he's been training. I kind of seen him popping up everywhere, but I've seen him training a lot recently at Rise Boxing. He's over there with Marco Sanchez. He's the head MMA coach. Marco Sanchez is one of the more prominent MMA fighters here in Utah as a professional. And Rise Boxing, you know, they're kind of a new MMA team. They've been around for a long time as far as the boxing scene goes, but as far as the MMA, it's a fairly new program that they have there. So he's training alongside the heavyweight champion of Utah, Kent Mafaleo. So you know he's getting some fantastic training partners over there, and he's always in the gym working really hard. And
he's working outside of his weight class too. I like that. You know, with Kent, Kent's a big boy that can put a lot of pressure on you. You know, rolling with Kent, he's big and he's in his weight class, but he's so much heavier feeling when he puts his pressure against you. And he's, like you said, he's in with some world-class guys. He's getting some good training out there. I know he is coming off of a loss against John Henderson, but that was over a year ago. That was last November. So he's been in the gym putting those tools together so he can come back and get that victory.
Yep, absolutely. And then John Henderson is not definitely, you know, that's not a loss you want to hang your head about, because John Henderson just fought for the title in their weight class. I mean, he did come up short, but that puts Luke right among the top guys there.
All right, let's see what's going on.
His opponent tonight going to be fighting out of the black corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, coming in over contracted weight at 190.5 pounds, with a current record of 1-2. An independent. Let's hear it for Dyqwhon Barber.
Making his way out to the cage now, we have Dyqwhon Barber, who is 28 years old and weighed in over contracted weight at 190.5 pounds. He has a record of 1-2-0, also independent. But what do we know about this guy?
Well, like you said, he is an independent fighter. He's come out here. He's fought for SteelFist 3 times now. He is coming in off of a loss against Mitch Olson back in August of 2022. So it's been a little while since he's been in the cage. His last fight, it was a KO, TKO, round number 1. So hopefully he's been putting in that work. He is still an independent fighter, so I don't know what he's been doing to retool, or if he's just been putting in the cardio and training with one of his training partners. I believe it was Nicholas Jackson.
Bryce Smith.
Yeah. So he's been hopefully putting in some work so that he can get in here and try and get that win. But there's a big difference, though, between in the gym with some fully trained athletes that know what they're teaching you versus in with likewise amateurs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully he's been doing the right thing, so we'll see. Now, you did mention that he came in over his contracted weight. What does that mean?
So, you know, you signed the contract, you got to try and make the weight, but sometimes, you know, whether it's a dietary problem or your body just starts to shut down on you, at that point, you know, really, you have a 1 pound allowance from the agreed weight class, which I believe was 190.
Yeah, I believe it was 185.
Oh, 185, okay, my bad. Oh, yeah, my bad.
So
okay.
He came in at 190, he was 5 pounds over.
So you have a 1 pound allowance, you can end up, you know, 185, but if you're that far over, usually they make your opponent sign a new contract or something. It kind of becomes a commission issue at that point.
And they'll only allow a certain amount of variance too. So the commission, first thing they will do is they're going to look at the opponent that made weight and they're going to say, do you still want to take this fight? And if you say yes, I'll take it, or you can even say no, I want him to cut 1 more pound before he weighs in. You can even make them do that, but you can only make them lose up to a pound right there. So you could say yes, I'll take the fight, or no, I won't take the fight. But like you said, if you do take the fight, you do have to sign saying that you're going to do that. If this was a title fight, you would be ineligible for the title as the person that busted weight. But if you were the person, so if it was a vacant title and both of these guys came in and one made weight and the other one didn't, the person that made weight could win the title. the person that did not make weight could only win the fight, not the title.
Yeah.
So there are certain rules that go into play there. The biggest thing is that it's up to the person that made weight whether or not they want the fight to go on. Also with professionals, you give up part of your purse for coming in overweight.
Now, Dyqwhon Barber, similar to Luke here, Dyqwhon Barber, his loss he's coming off of was to Mitch Olson, who just won the title against Luke Thompson's last opponent. And so
they're both coming in off of losses to really tough competitors.
Yeah, absolutely.
In their weight class, in their division.
So I'm excited to see, both of them, I think about over a year off between the two of them.
Yes.
And so they've, Luke, at least I know for a fact, has been putting in the work. Dyqwhon Barber, we're going to have to see how he comes out. It's taking him a little bit of time to get him out to the cage. Guess they're just doing some last-minute checks and some Vaseline here, making sure he's all up to code and ready to go.
And if the so a little wipe down. So what happens even if you're too sweaty and it feels like you're slippery, they'll wipe it off because it could be grease. Some people just have that naturally slippery sweat. I've grappled with a few of those callbacks to Oliver Bradstreet. If you guys have been watching MMA for a long time, you might know who he is. One of the slipperiest guys I've ever grappled in my life, but never Vaseline's up or anything. He's just got that naturally slippery sweat, where then you got other guys that you stick to like Velcro. So.
All right, we got Luke Sanders 2.0 coming against Dyqwhon Barber. Luke is really getting pretty good. Starts with southpaw stance and already feinting some strikes.
Luke staying nice and low. Ooh, nice left hand. Ooh,
but Dyqwhon, he's finding that right straight down the center there.
Yeah, Dyqwhon Barber came in right down the center, landed some good shots so far. His hands are looking pretty accurate right now.
And he's got a lot of power behind him too, but Luke's been taking
another big shot.
Ties up, goes for the takedown, and he's able to get it.
Great takedown by Luke Sanders.
All right, he's in half guard right now. We're going to see if he's going to try and work on advancing. Oh, Dyqwhon is able to get some distance.
So he's able to stand up. Good job. Dyqwhon's a strong individual too, the way he's able to stand up and even push Luke off the way he did from the bottom there, and then just stand straight up. He didn't put his knee against the cage or do any of those things that give you a better center of gravity to stand up. He just stood up.
Yeah. Luke is getting some good knees. Ooh, and finishes out with the kick on the exit.
Didn't land, but still nice to see it.
Luke is throwing that kick out there, and he's had success with that leg kick, but he's not really putting much power behind it.
And one thing with what Dyqwhon's doing, you see how he's got that really low stance when he starts coming in. Ooh. Luke gets a good takedown again.
Yeah. Kind of just able to pull him over him and roll into a dominant position. He's got a front headlock, and he's
kind of the north-south just over the top there.
Yeah.
Now he's got the head. He was grabbing a little bit more around the body before, and now he's got the head. Is he going to go for another takedown attempt off of this? Now he's going for the guillotine. And Dyqwhon gets out of it.
Gotta get ready, yeah. Luke is ready for his approach. Dyqwhon, he's having, he has like little bits of explosions where he'll enter in and throw a bunch of strikes.
Just like that. And he's landing some accurate shots. I mean, look at Luke's forehead. There's a big red circle right in the center of Luke Sanders' forehead. And that's because of the accuracy of Dyqwhon.
Yeah. And Luke's taking them all pretty well, hasn't like showed much, hasn't slowed down much. He's kind of been on the back foot pretty much the whole entire fight. Another good leg kick out of Luke. He's starting to get a little more comfortable and putting a little more power behind those.
And I think the moving backwards, trying to keep out of the reach of Dyqwhon, because Dyqwhon is the taller fighter. He does have that reach advantage. And he's coming in pretty effectively. And I think the backpedaling is more staying out of the reach, because you see every once in a while Luke does plant his feet and move forward. He just is staying on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a viable strategy. I'd be running from, not running, I'm not saying that Luke is running, but if I was fighting
I don't want to stay
running.
in the pocket with somebody that's hitting that hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
the pocket's one thing, but I definitely don't want to be inside their reach and outside of mine.
Yeah.
Now, as the unofficial judges, as in what we say doesn't matter, who are you looking at that scorecard saying that they may have come out the victor in that round? I don't think that there was a dominant performance by either, an overly dominant performance rather. I don't think that we saw that out of either one of them, but if you're watching...
Yeah, this one, I really wouldn't be surprised if the judges even saw it differently between each other too, because I feel like Dyqwhon had some more significant strikes with his punches. But Luke had kind of more better volume and was doing a lot of good damage to the leg, and plus those takedowns and reversals.
Right, but why did he have to go for the takedowns? Was it due to the effective striking of Dyqwhon, and was that grappling capitalized on to take away the advantage of the striking of Dyqwhon Barber?
And then even after Dyqwhon was able to get up to get up back on his feet over here, Luke was getting some good body knees down the center there. So, you know, it depends on if the judges want to count those more than the head damage.
Yeah, there is a level of subjectiveness to that.
Ooh,
that's a big right hand from Dyqwhon Barber.
Kind of goes for
attempted head throw. Let's see if he's hit. There he goes. Sticks with it. Is able to get it. He's sitting in kind of the bully headlock. Let's see if Dyqwhon's able to push that arm down and trap and maybe go for a submission off that, or if he's just trying to get it out of the way for strikes.
That was a good shot from the bottom by Luke. Luke's doing a good job of controlling it. He's got control of his hand. It's just kind of throwing that right hand all the way across.
Slips through, but Dyqwhon's able to maintain that dominant position. Putting that pressure down makes it really hard for Luke to do anything. The forearm and throat make it really uncomfortable.
I haven't seen much damage from Dyqwhon Barber up top, though, from in the ground and pound.
No, he hasn't landed anything really effectively that's going to end the fight yet. But a lot of it goes into setting up strikes, setting up position. You know, one thing that you always preach in a coaching position is position before submission, position before striking. You want to establish that position before you give up that possible reversal because you want to hit him.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of holding that position. He's able to get over into top mount. Luke almost had a reversal, but the cage was in the way, so.
Wrong direction.
Oh, and now he's going again, fighting for it, able to get his base.
Dyqwhon's able to keep that knee out. Oh!
And he gets the reversal. And he gets into mount of his own.
Luke Sanders just drives through on pure grit and determination and a bit of technique.
Yeah.
And now he's in that beautiful mount position.
Powerful shots to the body.
See if he's able to open up something to the head or if he goes for a submission.
Luke just pushing down on his face, trying to break that grip that Dyqwhon has on the back of his head.
I do like that he's working the body. One thing that you don't see as much of these days is the body-body-head combos where you work the body to open up the head.
Luke is able to take the back as he reverses over, but it looks like he has his hands trapped.
Dyqwhon's got that arm trapped in there a little bit. Can't see if he's holding on to the wrist or not, but he's in a fairly safe position.
Got one arm free. Oh, that was a good strike. He's got about 30 seconds left, 20 seconds left to hopefully put something together.
Well, at this position, you'd like to see Luke either fully commit to going for that choke or sit up and start throwing strikes down. He's got partial choke. He doesn't have the comb in behind his head, so he puts that pressure on, makes it very uncomfortable, and does cut off a little bit of that blood supply, but it's only temporary because you're just flexing it through instead of applying that pressure where it really sinks down like a vice. But another great round. That's one I definitely think went Luke's way.
Yeah, Dyqwhon, I feel like had maybe more ground control time, or there was more scrambling moments on the ground, and Dyqwhon was able to hold it. But once Dyqwhon was on the Barber, sorry,
he was on the Barber. Dyqwhon Barber was on the Barber. Yes, I remember that.
Luke was on the bottom, and Luke was on top, and there wasn't much action between either one of them. But the few strikes that Luke landed from the top position was more strikes than Dyqwhon Barber landed from the top position.
Yeah, I see that, but after I said that I think that Luke won that round, I start thinking about that round, and the beginning of that round, there were some really beautiful shots landed by Dyqwhon Barber, and then he did get that takedown. He did have that dominant position, but it was I think the impact of how that round ended that made me say that, and kind of in hindsight, I think that Dyqwhon might have won that round.
Yeah, I can agree with what you're saying there.
I'm glad I'm not a judge, because I would be very bad at that jump. Luckily, I'm good at talking, or moderately good at talking. All right, Ty Thompson telling him to get to his corner, and Dyqwhon's there now, and we're going to see round number 3.
Good touch with the gloves. These guys are both fatigued. Good leg kick by Luke. Dyqwhon Barber coming in with a barrage of strikes.
Dyqwhon's timing is really good.
Yeah,
and the way that he stays low like that often kind of makes your distance, your reach really deceptive, because when he explodes forward, he's not just exploding forward with that reach, he's also going to add to that with his body. And it makes it a little bit harder to gauge against, especially when he changes that level so often.
But Luke's doing a good job. You know, when someone's in that stance, that lead leg is usually pretty available. But Dyqwhon Barber is finding the timing on those kicks, and Luke's able to get a takedown. And he's able to get the counter for the most part. But I think, you know, there's a pretty good chance this fight might finish out on the ground here.
Yeah, I don't know if whoever's going to be on bottom has got the gas in the tank to power a stand-up. The only thing you can really hope for is that you can stall it out and make the referee stand you up, or possibly get a good transition or a good reversal.
Good strategy, and he's got good control of Luke's arm, and every time, you know, he's getting one free, but hasn't been able to get much effectiveness out of his striking from the top position here.
Agreed. And you hear Luke's corner yelling body, body, head.
I'd like to see Luke just try and posture up a little bit. Maybe, he passes over to half guard, a little bit better of a better position.
Much better position.
Yeah.
It makes it hard for Dyqwhon to make him stall to get that stand up. This position, Luke has a lot more options for strikes and also for moving forward to a better position, like driving that knee through and getting the full mount right there.
There you go. And it also shows to the ref, you know, not to stand him up because he's
moving. Yeah.
Interesting strikes by Luke, though. That's pretty sweet.
Little shoulder drops.
All right, kind of got like a headline position. No, just put him right back down.
Cross face him over, pull him back down, and Luke's kind of laying in that top position, almost not quite laying prey. He's staying busy with it. He's not doing much damage, but he is showing again that he's working, that he's doing something. He's throwing some strikes. They are landing to the body. It is doing something. And it sits up and starts landing some punches, and
Luke's able to get to the bottom, but he's so slippery.
I would have loved to see Dyqwhon try and stand, maybe go tripod on that one. Just with how little balance Luke had, it would have possibly been a way to shake him off.
But Luke's got that hook and he's able to get some pretty good strikes.
10 seconds out. And I think you called it. We're going to see this round go the entire distance on the ground, and it is going to go to the judges.
This is a really close, like, I feel like might be even like a split decision between the judges because of how back and forth it was.
I think you're right. I think that there's a really good chance that it went the third round. Well, I mean, third round was all Luke, and the first and second round could have gone both ways. So I guess you're right. It does depend on the judges, but I see, if I had to guess, I'd say it was a 29-28 round, three judges.
I agree.
But that's just me being hopeful that I'm right. Let's take it to the cage, find out what the judges say.
That's one of my favorite parts. When it's on, and when it's done, they show each other respect. Do me a favor, make some noise for a couple of gassed out athletes. These guys giving it every last thing they got. And 3 minutes is a long time when somebody's trying to hurt you. Leaving it to the judges. We're going to run it through the computer program. Talk amongst yourselves. Who's got to go get beverages this round? While we're waiting, let's make some noise for the red corner, Luke Sanders. And we'll make some noise for the black corner, Dyqwhon Barber. And we'll make some noise for the judges and see how they scored it. Coming up first, Stephen Farragher with a score of 30-27. Guys, I got so excited I didn't wait for you. Gentlemen to the center of the ring, do me a favor. Make some noise for both these warriors, would ya? Judge number 1, Stephen Farragher with a score of 30-27. Judge Dennis McMahon with a score of 29-28. Dan First with a score of 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, out of the right corner, Luke Sanders.
All right, everyone, I'm here with your winner, Luke Sanders. Dude, you just went to a 3-round war. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty dang tired. Good, but really good. Happy it's over.
You looked great out there, man. Is there anyone you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, God, Jesus, and my sponsors, Water Wellness, these lovely people over here, Locker Room SLC, check it out, Sugar House Bars, my fam at Rise Boxing, Classic Fight Team, Park City, Ultimate Combat Training Center, Jalil Lopez, Sione Poa, and my brothers and sisters at Fight City.
All right, man. Are you going to come out here and do this for us again?
That's the plan, my man.
Well, we can't wait to see you come back. Congratulations. Everyone give it up for your winner, Luke Sanders!
Where's Team Luke? Make some noise for your man. He is gonna sleep good tonight. Holy smokes.